Alright, it's that time of day again. We've got more transfer rumours coming up, more people in the media saying who we're buying, what money we've got to spend. You forget it's the end of the season until you open up Twitter and all you see is 500 different people saying, this club's buying who? And it's just, oh fucking hell, man. Kudus is, I think, the West Ham winger, right? I've just saw now, apparently we're linked with Kudus again. Not a bad player. I'm not disappointed that we could be signing Kudus. It's not a bad signing if we did get it over the line. But can we stop being linked with everyone, for fuck's sakes? Because you know what they're going to do here? They're going to link us to every single fucking player because they don't know how much money we're going to spend. They want to claim that it's 250 million, 150 million, 100 million, bloody 45 pence in a Twix. I don't fucking know. Right, they're going to keep claiming we've got all this money to spend and we're going to spend it on the most ridiculous ass players. We're going to spend it on nobodies. Right, they're talking about how Paul Mitchell leaving is going to hinder us. It's fucking not. It's going to do us one hell of a fucking favour, if anything. But it's a slow news day over in the Newcastle threads. It is completely dead because everyone's on about Mbeumo, everyone's on about Delap, everyone's on about Gahey. Are any of them going to happen? I don't actually think so. I think we might get Mbeumo. I don't think Gay's going to happen. I don't think Kudus is going to happen, and I don't think Delap is going to happen. I mean, it could. Delap's a coin toss at the moment, I believe. I think he's a coin toss. I think Mbeumo, it's a coin toss, and I think Gahey, it's a lost cause. I think he's wanted by the club. We can afford him. We could probably buy him. He's got a year left on his deal. Newcastle pessimism involved. Don't think we sign him. Just a bit of Newcastle pessimism, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't see that signing necessarily. But as I say, slow news day today. Can't believe that it's a slow news day when we're supposed to be getting really active and supposed to be buying a ton of players. It's a slow news day. You never like. It's always a little bit concerning when it's a slow news day. But Manchester United are coming out. They've bought Cunha. They've done it. All of the details are sorted out now. Cunha's a Manchester United player. It's just waiting for the window to open to officially make the move and put the shirt on. That's a done deal. Right? That's a done deal. For Newcastle, I feel like today's going to be a very slow news day. Tomorrow I'm going to go buy the new shirt because got ourselves some interesting shirt. Thought I'd recognise that person there. Thought I recognised him. I think tomorrow's going to be a bit of a busy day because everyone's going to be going on about the kits. Right, we've always seen them. We've seen it in action, but they come to the new home kit comes to the store tomorrow, so a bit of hype tomorrow. But today, a bit of a slow, definitely a slow business day today. No news on signings, which is is that concerning? Yeah, are other Newcastle fans concerned that there isn't signings going on a few days after the season? So because Cunha's done at Manchester United, Wirtz to Liverpool's basically done, Kerkez to Liverpool is basically done. How come these clubs are getting these deals done straight away, whereas we are planning where we're going next? It's a little bit concerning. If you're on fucking Twitter. If you're on Twitter, it's concerning. If you're in realism, it's not. It's gonna happen. It's what was gonna happen to begin with. I don't think we sign until maybe the first window. I think we start doing our business in the first window, and we get like 2 or 3 squad signings, 2 signings in the first window, 3 signings in the second window, and 3 youth players. That's my bet, right? When it comes to who, Garcia or Trafford in the first window, 100%. And Buemo, or the new transfer rumour, Kudus. I think it'll be in Buemo. I think we aren't in for Kudus. I think Kudus stays at West Ham. He likes it at West Ham, it seems. I think he's staying there. Don't think we'd go for Bowen either. Bowen's probably the better one to get, but I don't think we go for either of them. I think they both stay at West Ham this season. I think we need to get our right centre back, and I think it's gonna. That's the one that I don't think it's gonna be the main target that everyone goes on about. Everyone's going on about Marc Guéhi. I think we'll find some unknown player in France, in Spain, someone no one thought to link to Newcastle United. I think will be the one we end up buying between the 1st and the 10th of June. I firmly believe that. I keep looking at myself in the fucking video when I'm trying to make sure I don't look like a fucking Egypt when someone passes by, because they're passing by and I'm trying to see if I recognize them. But when we're looking at this, right, when we're looking at the transfer news today, it is very stale. When yesterday it was full of activity because of, obviously, the departure of Paul Mitchell, and now we're still trying to figure out how much we have to spend, because everyone's making up the ideal transfers, ideal windows, but we don't know how much we have to spend. We don't know what the plan is. Are we going to spend to our limit, or are we going to spend to make it to January, then reassess with the second window? I think that's more likely. I think everyone's looking like, oh, let's build up the entire squad in summer. I think we're going to go till January, buy in players if we need players. If, depending on what the situation is, are we looking to be advancing in the Champions League? Are we looking to be making it through into Europe next season? Like, is it worth gambling the window? So don't expect a ton of action this season's window. I feel like that's a lost cause. Expecting a lot from the summer window here. I think we'll get the players we need to start, and one or two squad players. But I think our wick will still be we'll still have powder to go with. We'll still have tools to use in January, I think, is the strategy. Alright, I feel like it's fair to say that that'll be the strategy. Tools to use in January. They'll also probably go off of Adidas and sponsorship changes. There'll probably be some deals in the sponsorship based on getting Champions League, right? So we can all rely on that, probably giving us a little bit more money than last season. And now we're in a position where, so long as we don't massively overspend, we do have the roll-off period from our next year hitting us June next year. So last year we've fixed it, so now we have 2 years of more profit than loss in our PSR checkbook, which means when this year rolls off, which it's about to do at the end of June, in the midpoint of June, I believe we are meant to have that PSR roll over and finalized and sorted, which means that year where we spent, I believe, 70 million is the amount rolling off, and then the year after, which is still on our thing, is 70 million again. So we have two sets of 70 million, it's 140 million. So long as we don't overspend by 70 million this year, we will have roughly the same budget going into next year, which is amazing for the club. Amazing. So I feel like transfers are going to be slow. When will the transfers start happening? I would say probably in the first window. We'll get a few transfers opening, and if we have to race, I think we'll make it really quick. Because Delap seems to be the main focus at the moment. Get Delap over the line. I think that's mostly because Delap is the one that's highest contention. You have Manchester United, Everton, Chelsea, Newcastle, all in for him. So he's the most in demand. He's the hardest to grab. So I think that's why we're rushing him. Already had him for meetings. Already explained what his role in the club will be. Probably just a general forward for us, because he can play left, he can play centre, he can play right. It's perfect for us because we don't have enough depth, and having someone who can play all of the front three is great for having that extra layer of defence in case we have a horrible injury crisis. It's lovely, exactly what we need. Obviously, depth in the back line is important. New left back potentially, or a new right back, I would say, is more priority. A new right back, and I would say 2 centre backs. It might sound ridiculous because we will have Botman and Byrne, the new centre back, and Shaw. I'd say get a 5th one, just a project player, or keep Murphy this year. I don't know if he can exactly perform that role just yet. I think he's probably going to get one more loan to give him one final chance at being able to prove his quality. I think he's proved his quality in lower leagues, at least, especially. He's an 8 out of 10 the majority of matches for Bolton. And obviously some fans have went, oh, but Bolton fans seem to hate him. Yeah, I see that. But you're not going to appreciate a loan player as much as you are a signing. And he starts so often, and he does very well in his games. He occasionally makes a mistake, but he's great for like resting a player for 10-15 minutes if a game's won. Cup runs, probably good. I could see him possibly staying, and playing most of the youth team and staying on the bench occasionally. More likely he goes back on loan and he gets one final chance to prove himself in the Championship. I think that's probably going to be his final tester, and if not, we'll bye-bye to the Irish lad. Call-ups have already happened. Isak's pulled out. That's a big bit of news today. Isak's pulled out of Sweden. Not shocked at all. I am not shocked at all about Isak pulling out of Sweden. I was thinking it was going to happen for the last few weeks, because obviously there's the internationals coming up and Sweden's part of them. They've got the World Cup qualifiers going on. They don't need Sweden. No, they don't need Sweden. They don't need Isak for this. They've got Gyökeres. He can hold the fort. He's nearly as good as Isak. But Isak needs the rest. I care more that Isak gets the rest than he isn't getting the fame in the international football. He needs the rest. He needs potentially an operation. We don't know that. But getting him rest is the ideal thing. It's the most beneficial thing for Newcastle United, is that Isak gets his rest. So I'm very happy that he's getting his rest. I think it's great for the club, great for him, and he should be ready to fire next season. Let's go. Lovely stuff. Botman's seeming to be recovering through the summer as well, which is great. Gordon's going to England though, which it's a flick of the switch. I think this is the most vital England call-up we could see all season. Well, not all season, like for the start of next season, because we all remember how shit Gordon was at the start of the season when his confidence was down. Southgate had fucked him over in the Euros, playing fucking Phil Foden on the left over him when Foden was useless. We saw that his confidence dropped, and when he came back in the start of the season, he was far weaker than where he should have been. And then he went off to England mid-season, played really well for England, got his first goal, his confidence went up. We had his goal against Aston Villa. He performed really well for the win streak. I think it's important. I think Gordon's a very confidence-based player, and you see it especially in his interviews. He's very confidence-based, and when he has a knock to his confidence, he does tend to start to underperform afterwards. And I really hope that doesn't happen to him, because we obviously like when he performs well. We like when he's confident. He's not being confident at the end of the season. I think that red card really did it in for him. Having an injury with England after being benched for Rashford and having to go back early from England, it's probably set off an absolute downward spiral for him. And he's underperformed in his last few games, bar one off the bench where he performed half decent. against Ipswich, I believe it was. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it's Ipswich that I am envisioning in my memory here. Yeah, it was. So as I say, like, I think that's very important. I'm actually happy he's gone to England this time, even though I've just clarified that I want Isak to stop and recover. I want Gordon to recover his confidence, and I'm hoping Thomas Tuchel sees something and starts him for a few games, because boy does he need it. He needs a bit of confidence going into next season, and if we can't give him that, we need to start him in pre-season. We need to get his confidence up. It's a real shame that he's not confident at the moment. Sorry. There's people talking across the road right outside my fucking car, both sides of her and a car. But the Isak news, not a surprise. We've all thought of it for months now. He's carrying a groin injury. He's taking rest. He'll be recovered for next season. Botman's resting, recovering for next season. Gordon's getting his confidence back up with England, hopefully. Our main stars look quite good for next season. They look ready and rearing to go. Bruno's going to Brazil. That's always great. He's going to be under Ancelotti. Let's hope that they can have a few good games over there. Joe Linton seems to be sticking home. That's a bit unfortunate for him, but it's never impacted his confidence too much. I mean, he's still recovering an injury. He probably can understand it. Even if he was close to getting back and could have made it, I feel like he understands. So him recovering is always good for us. Getting a lot of recovery from the end of the season and a lot of chance to buy in new players, which means that we won't have to deal with these prolonged recovery periods with as much pain anymore. The ideal is to be at a level of which Arsenal or Man City can deal with injuries, where unless it's a talisman, where you're expected to drop no matter how good a team you are. If Liverpool lost Salah this year, it would have been a horrible season for them. If Man City did lose Rodri, it was a horrible season for them. If we were to lose Isak all season, I think it would be horrible for us. But I think even more so if Tonali got injured, it'd be worse for us. Obviously, having backup to that position would be great, but it's all about actually having it. Shit, I'm accidentally knocking my phone here. Obviously, it's more about having that depth and being able to rotate without losing as much quality. But when into talismans, you are going to inevitably lose quality with injuries. But for us, we're in a position where we don't just lose quality, we lose cohesion, we lose our ability to create chances and finish chances when we lose players. So we need to make sure that the depth issue is somewhat sorted in the summer. And some people are saying, there's still too much of a hole. We're not going to be able to fill it through this summer. I think we can. We've got youth players coming up. Potentially another breakthrough youth star coming through next season. We never know. But a left-sided centre mid and our Joe Linton problems would have been solved. And a backup striker and our Isak problems would have been solved. A new starting right centre-back, and our centre-back issues this season that we've had would be sorted so long as Botman can keep himself somewhat fit, because we did have a centre-back out for most of the season. That was Botman, and Ben, unlike people have realised, is the one who filled in for Botman. People seem to be undermining that to some extent, but yeah, Ben filled in for Botman perfectly fine. And next season, if Botman can start it fit and keep fit for most of it, Ben is our replacement. And for a new right centre-back, Shah is our replacement. That is good depth. That is the depth we need. Right wing has been a problem since Miggy left. We've all been concerned about Murphy getting an injury. He hasn't got an injury, which is great for us. Get a new right winger. Starting Murphy's on the bench. Because we don't have to sell this window, buying isn't improving the quality, it's improving the depth and the quality. So we are actually killing two birds with one stone, which people aren't mentioning enough. That, yes, we have bad depth, and we've went into previous seasons with bad depth, but we've also sold for the last few seasons. We've sold in our windows, and we've lost our depth and lost our ability to hold on to players as well. Now we go into this summer, we know we can sell who we want and buy replacements for who we want. Joe Willock and Sean Longstaff look to be leaving. Miley seems to be staying. Our starting 11 seems to be untouched, and a lot of our bench seems to be untouched other than goalkeepers and potential outgoings for age. Deadwood, basically, which is great for us. We're going into this next season able to replace players with either, say, players off of our youth academy. Clearly, Eddie Howe has some that he trusts ready for the bench, and that does inspire me that they can be half decent. Sean Nev and Sahar, they've been good quality. And Trevor Sanusi, he looks to be good quality, plays on the left and the right. Great for us, great potential in the youth. He's only 17, I believe, or 19. I can't remember which. He's an under-21s player, and he is actually still under 21. And he can play on their bench for Newcastle. That's a perfect profile of player we want going forward. It's perfect for our depth. Overall, today's news, great for Newcastle. The transfer plan, great for Newcastle that I've seen so far. We're looking very good going into the remainder of this summer. And tomorrow will be kit launch day, so a very exciting day for Newcastle. Probably the transfer room is taking the back seat because everyone will be talking about the kits. So I'll see you tomorrow. And what will be the advice today? What should be the advice today? Take a nice 20 minutes, turn off your device, and just have a cup of tea and relax. Good day, lads. Have a good rest of your evening. I'll catch you another one.